we may not have time for the rest of the tracks. I'll talk about this all day. So Dark Horse. This piano intro. First of all, we didn't have an intro for the song. There was no intro. And there was not that cymbal swell, there wasn't anything to get us into the song. We were just playing the song over and over and over and over again, absent any kind of intro. And it was getting really frustrating. I remember Dave was like, I don't know how we're gonna get into this song. And then one day, I walked in and he was noodling, he was playing the part, I think he was trying to get a keyboard sound or something. And I was like, that's great, why don't we do that? It's fantastic. That should be the thing right there. Why don't we make that the intro? And I remember he was like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, shut up, you are not. Yeah, so once we cleared that hurdle, the rest of the song was pretty much already written. Dean McTaggart came over to my little furnished apartment that I was living in Burbank. I'd never been on my own for that length of time before. I remember the first time I walked in, I had a panic attack. But Dean McTaggart came over to my apartment and he said, again, sort of like Birmingham, I've got this idea set in Texas, and I don't know, the word Abilene keeps kind of rolling around in my head, and the story's about these two kids who are trying to like make it work and trying to like, you know, kind of run away together. And it was a love story. And immediately I was like, I can sing this song. I had just moved out of my parents' house not long before. You know, they weren't crazy about my boyfriend, and there was conflict. I was trying to sort of individuate from them, and I was trying to like get my music career off the ground. And it's a time in your life when you're trying to figure out like what you're doing. You're trying to be a person, you're trying to be an adult. And so I immediately was like, I can tell this story. This is my thing. And Dean had written most of the first verse, and I said, leave it with me, I'm gonna write some more stuff. And I think I wrote a couple more verses, and the one that we picked was the second. Something so sacred. It's something worth this kind of fight, 'cause love knows no patience. And you can't please everyone all the time, which sounds just like me. I mean, that's a very kind of, you know, shrug it off kind of thing to say. Yeah, and I just remember sort of sitting in the apartment trading lyrics back and forth with Dean. That melody, I can't remember if he came up with the melody or if he maybe collaborated with Dave Tyson on the melody, but I do remember feeling very strongly about that little end bit where there's sort of that run at the end that I kind of threw in at the end, and I was like, I really like that. I really want to keep it. A lot of the time when you're making your first record too, when you're working as a collaborative process with other people, you know, you're kind of subject to their instruction and their guidance. And I was really lucky. I had a lot of really great mentors, but I was also lucky that I also had a lot of really strong opinions, and I had a lot of really, you know, pretty decent ideas. I had decent taste, and that goes a long way. And this song, I think, was the product of just everybody being kind of in the right mindset at the right time. We all knew that it should have that 4 on the floor, dum 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 dum, which I love. It was very reminiscent of a lot of Don Henley stuff, a lot of like Eagles stuff. I loved that. And it gave the song a heartbeat, which really was fitting because, you know, the song was a love story, and that's what it needed. Those background vocals were really, really important, and I remember singing that under harmony, the harmony underneath the lead. And the first time I heard it, I was like, this is perfect. It was so kind of flat and kind of grounding for the chorus melody. Yeah, and then, you know, and then it kind of blew up. I remember talking to Elton John about it on the phone. I remember when he called me, and he was like, you know, this song is the heart of your record, and they've got to release it as a single because, you know, it is the heart of your album. And to have somebody say that about something that you had written was, you know, to have somebody like that say something about that you had written when you were like 20, 21 was kind of overwhelming, you know? It was amazing. Yeah. This is another song that, you know, when people sing stuff that you've really put yourself into, when they sing it back to you in a live setting, that's the most gratifying thing. And this song means something to people, so, you know, you couldn't really ask for more than that.
Thanks for watching Behind the Vinyl. We have got a ton more episodes available to you. Your favorite artists with your favorite stories. And here's the thing, we're updating Behind the Vinyl all the time. So if you want to stay up to date on that, simply subscribe by clicking right up here. And you can do us a huge favor by sharing some Behind the Vinyls on your socials. Thanks.